Hi, my name is Navi and I live in Columbus, Ohio, and I currently attend The Ohio State University. My interests include cooking and baking and fitness. I have recently just earned my American Council on Exercise personal training certification so I can further help others progress in their fitness journey. I think the one thing that distinguishes me from the other candidates is that I am a USAPL member, which stands for United States of America Powerlifting. I started powerlifting about a year ago and am 4 weeks out from my first powerlifting competition, and I've been preparing for this competition for the past 8 weeks. This means that I have daily weigh-ins to ensure that my weight is stable. I am currently trying to lose a bit of weight to make my weight class. This also means that I have to be very on point with my nutrition every single day, and I meal prep each week, and I watch my sodium intake. I track my macros to the gram. So it's a very tedious process, and it takes a lot of mental stability, and it can be very draining sometimes, but it has taught me a lot about myself, and I'm very excited to be on the platform in 4 weeks. I want to be a Tulane dietetic intern because Tulane is one of the top medical schools, and I think gaining education from the school will greatly benefit my future career as a dietitian. Tulane has many different rotations that they offer their interns, as I learned about after speaking to the director of the program, and I think that it's very unique in the sense that it offers so many little rotations that the interns have the opportunity to explore to really expand their knowledge on the different roles that dietitians have in the field. I also very much like the idea of community nutrition that is emphasized in the Tulane Dietetic Internship, and would very much love to be able to dive deeper into that aspect of dietetics. And also, being from small town Ohio, where there was not much diversity growing up, I think Tulane would be completely opposite from my experience growing up, and will offer me a greater insight to just diversity and how I can use the experiences and my interactions that I have with individuals during my time as an intern and be able to apply that into my future profession. I want to be a registered dietitian so I can help others find a balance between food and fitness and wellness, and really grasp an understanding of why it's important to have a healthy diet. Growing up, I had very bad body image issues and was always yo-yo dieting and trying to exercise and diet myself into happiness, but nothing was ever really working out. And so my mom actually took me to a registered dietitian when I was 16 and ultimately changed my perspective on food and what having a healthy mentality behind food really meant, and what kinds of exercises I should be doing in order to maintain a healthy weight. I think that there's a lot of misleading information that's out there on social media that the general public has easy access to, and no one is really gaining the true understanding of what a healthy, balanced diet and mentality means. And so as a dietitian, I want to promote and share to others why having a diet filled with whole foods is important and what it can ultimately do for your bodies when you put good things in it. After the internship, I plan on going to grad school and getting a master's in kinesiology so I can pair my love for fitness and nutrition together and help individuals reach an overall better quality of life through physical activity and food. And so after gaining my master's, I want to sit for the RD exam so I can become a registered dietitian, and hopefully 5 years down the line I can slowly be working towards putting together my own private practice. But if not 5 years down the line, I would definitely like to be in a hospital setting where I can gain more knowledge on dietetics and just different aspects of the field. I was a resident advisor in Ohio State for 2 years and came across my fair share of uncomfortable situations. One specifically that comes to mind is one interaction I had with my favorite resident, unfortunately, and I had to document them for underage drinking. And in this situation, they were not being compliant, so I had to call campus PD to come deal with the situation further. My remainder of the time with this resident ended up being very uncomfortable. They would not approach me when they were having any problems and would go to the other RA on the floor, and it just created a very uncomfortable environment for the both of us. And so in this situation, as I would if there is an uncomfortable situation during the internship, I confronted them face to face and communicated with them why I did what I did when I contacted campus police and how they had broken university policy by underage drinking, and that my role as an RA was to document the situation, and if they were not being compliant, call the police, which is what I did. And so regardless of our friendship, I had to put that aside and perform my job as an RA as I was taught to do. When studying for a major exam, I usually give myself a full week to really make sure I understand all of the information that is going to be presented to me. So the first thing I do when studying this exam is go back through all of my notes that I had typed on my laptop, which is usually how I take notes in class, and rewrite them. So by rewriting the notes, it really helps me retain it better. That's how I found I learn best. And so after I rewrite these notes, I do it in black pen. I go back through with a colored pen and make little notes on the notes I had just handwritten. And if there's any unclear concepts that I'm really not understanding, I will try and find a video or go to professor's office hours to gain a little more understanding on the video if I cannot find the information in the book or in the notes or online. And so by doing this, I allow myself enough time to review the material that I have a good understanding on, but also give me enough time to fully grasp concepts that I had not retained well the first time through. A situation I was treated unfairly was during one of my lab meetings for undergraduate research I'm involved with called the Navi study. So prior to this study launching, the other research assistants and I were dividing up the tasks of how we were going to go about launching this study. So specifically, I wanted my task to be administering the phone screenings to the parents of the potential children that were going to be in our study. I thought I was well equipped for this role due to my ability to speak well on the phone, especially to parents, and be able to communicate effectively what the purpose of our study was and answer any questions that they may have about the study. And the other research assistants felt that there was another member of our team that was better equipped to administer these phone screens. And I thought I was being treated unfairly and that my abilities were not being highlighted. So to kind of put it into perspective why I wasn't chosen for this role, I went to my research mentor and asked her how I can improve on my speaking ability or my knowledge of the study in order to effectively give these phone screens to the parents of the children that may be participating in our study. And she also suggested that I shadow the research assistant that was given the job. And so after practicing the phone screens a little bit more and shadowing how the other research assistant was administering these phone screens, I think that I was better equipped to do this role, and the other research assistants realized that I was able to perform the job well. So through effective communication and taking a step back and revisiting my skills and my ability to perform the role, I was able to effectively be able to do the role in future opportunities. I think I am better at working on a few specific tasks and completing them to their full potential. I am the type of person that has high standards for what I would like to gain out of each task presented to me, and kind of want to be able to really understand and grasp the whole meaning behind the task that is presented to me before moving on to the next thing. I like to feel comfortable in the situations that are given to me and the ideas that I have to learn, and would rather really be able to focus on a few little things at once rather than jumping around to a bunch of different concepts and not really being able to fully understand all of the situations that are presented to me. So overall, I think I perform best when I am given a few specific tasks and am able to dive deep into them and really understand and learn them before moving on to the next one. I was working with a classmate on completing a case study that was presented in my M&T class, and we were trying to think of the diagnosis for this patient, and we're really butting heads on what we thought was this person's diagnosis. And after going back and forth so many times, we decided to just take a step back and effectively communicate to each other why we thought we were right. And after doing so, we were still really not coming to a conclusion of what we wanted this patient's diagnosis to be. So we went back and wrote out why we believed our diagnosis was correct and the facts behind it, and went back through our notes and went back through the book to find more information regarding this patient's condition and what would be best to diagnose this patient. And ultimately, we found out that both of us were right in some aspects, and we were able to sort of combine both of the ideas we had in mind to make one effective diagnosis.